Hello everybody, since Black Clover new arc is on air right now, I decided to make full series walkthrough before the current arc. Let's get right into it. A long time ago, humanity was under attack by a demon, but one mage rose and destroyed it. He was then known as the Wizard King, and his title has since been passed down to the next generations. In present day, meet Asta and Yuno. Asta is a boy without magic in a world where magic is everything, and he wants to be the next Wizard King. Where do I heard that before? Yuno, on the other hand, have an incredible amount of magical power and an excellent skill and prowess. Asta tries to train his body to compensate for his lack of magical ability because he doesn't like to give up. Asta and Yuno turned 15 now, and they can attend the Grimoire acceptance ceremony. Everybody received their Grimoire except Asta. However, Yuno received the 4-leaf Grimoire, which was the first Wizard King Grimoire. The Grimoire Tower Master told Asta to try again next year. Even after all this, Asta said confidently that he will never give up. That's what I'm talking about, man. Later that day, Yuno was attacked by a dude called Rivici, or whatever, I don't care, who was a former magic knight and became a thief and tries to steal his 4-leaf Grimoire. Then Asta jumps in for the save. Alas, for no avail. And right about Asta was going to give up, Yuno told him that he considered him his rival. And by the way, those of you who don't know, rival in anime means lover. Then Asta received his Grimoire alongside a giant sword. With it, Asta beat the living shift out of the thug. Apparently, it's a 5-leaf Grimoire that the demon reside in. It would not be a shonen anime without some sort of a demon power, am I right? And the sword have an anti-magic power, which translate in this world as the most up OP bull ever. Then Asta and Yuno announced themselves as rivals. 6 months later, Asta and Yuno signed up for the Magic Knight entrance exam and head over to the capital to become Magic Knights. Before the exam, Asta accidentally bumped into a guy called Yami, who is the captain of the Black Bulls squad. And by the way, that guy is so awesome. And right about Yami was to squeeze Asta's head to death the exam start. Asta failed every part of the exam, while Yuno excelled in every part. However, the last part of the exam where the contestants fight each others, Asta faced a bitch called Seki and one-shotted him with his sword. Then it was time for the Magic Knights captain to pick their squad members. Everybody picked Yuno, but no one picked Asta. Which reminded me of my high school days. Feels bad, I never got picked in class. But honestly, I don't care because I just wanted to sleep in school. Anyway, back to the show. Yuno picked up the Golden Dawn to be his squad. Meanwhile, nobody picked Asta. Yami stood up and told him, "You are a freak? I like that," and took Asta to join his squad, the Black Bulls. Asta arrived with Yami at the Black Bulls base. Then they met a guy called Finral, and Yami asked him to open a portal. Then Yami throws Asta right through it to the Black Bulls headquarters. And Yami told Asta that they are the worst Magic Knight squad. And meet the Black Bulls, where everybody can embrace himself as the freak he is, which is basically an anime convention. And by the way, Black Bulls are very similar to a certain anime. Meet the Black Bulls! Vanessa, the drinking whore. Look, the psychopath who loved to fight, which is basically Goku, and if you think about it, this is what actually Goku looked like. Goach, the dude who is obsessed with his sister, which represent everything wrong with anime. Magna, the useless side character. Finral, the portal dude. Gordon, me in high school. Charmy, the crazy eater. And Gray. Looks can be deceiving, kids. The initiation ceremony. Asta fought Magna in order to prove himself worthy of wearing the Black Bull's robe. Asta wins by striking Magna's attack right at him. Then Asta wore the Black Bull's robe and Vanessa added the Black Bull insignia to his headband. Soon after, Magna took Asta on a tour of the headquarters. Then they met with a girl called Noelle. And she's royalty, bucka. But she is terrible at using her magic, as she was trying to hit Asta but shot Magna instead. Magna yelled at her and she left, throwing the Black Bull's robe in the ground. Because she's royalty, bucka. In the morning, while Asta went to take a piss, he was attacked by a sphere of water. Then finds Noelle training on her own, as she tries to hit a target with her magic spell. Seeing that none of her attacks was on a target, she began to question her own abilities and remembered her rough childhood and her brother's rejection. Then her magic spiraled out of control. Everybody tried to stop her, but they didn't want to hurt her. Then Yami throws Asta and told him to solve the problem, and he managed to do so with his anti-magic ability. Yami commended Asta for his performance, while Noelle expected to be humiliated. Yet again, however, to her surprise, Asta and the Black Bulls commended her and offered to help her, just like my high school friends. Thank you guys. The first mission. Everybody was eating and telling why they became magic knights. Then Magna gave Asta and Noelle their first mission, and it's a boar hunting. Yami then explained that the request came from an old man who managed to win a bet against Yami and Magna. Then they took off with Magna on his crazy cyclone, due to Finral's inability to teleport them to unknown place, and because Asta and Noelle cannot fly with a broom. The moment they arrived, the first thing they see is a village being covered by a very thick mist. Then Magna asked Asta to break the mist with his sword, because the mist was created by magic. As they are proceeding, they met a group of mages with a dude called Heath, wreaking havoc on the village. Then Magna tried to stop them but failed, and he got saved by Asta. Then the magicians start attacking the village. Asta got irritated, and after an intense battle with the help of Noelle and Magna, they managed to capture them. However, one of them escaped. Suddenly, a bird appeared from Asta's robe and floated toward one of the villagers' house, where he finds a stone with a symbol of crescent moon and 3 four-sided stars on it. Then the bird took the stone and returned it to Asta's side. Then Asta tried to return the stone to the village's chief, but he decided to give it to him as a sign of gratitude. After that, they started questioning Heath and his subordinate. However, he immediately commits suicide by using a magic item he kept inside his stomach, taking his subordinates alongside with him. Then Asta got irritated because of Heath's lack of respect for life. Meanwhile, the subordinate who escaped reported back to his master, and the master told him not to worry, because everything is according to plan. It always according to plan, isn't it? Then the three got back to the Black Bull's headquarters, and Yami informed them that the Wizard King gave them a star for their effort in the village, which put the Black Bulls on 100-star difference with the top squad, the Golden Dawn. Then Yami also distributed the members' salary. Vanessa invited them on a shopping trip to the castle town in the Common region. After completing their errands, Vanessa then took Asta and Noelle to the black market hidden behind the wall in one of the alleys. While touring the black market, they met Magna gambling in a casino. In the same casino, Seke is being beaten in a game of cards by an elderly woman. After they went out, a thief snatched the belonging of the elderly woman who was gambling against Seke. Then Asta and Sake, or Haha, followed the thief and they managed to stop him. But Asta did most of the work, of course, and they returned the belongings to the elderly woman. As they are leaving, the elderly woman transformed to a middle-aged man that turned out to be the Wizard King. Kids, looks can be deceiving. This is the end of part 1. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content.